Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And straight up, the question is hold or trade? Put it down below what your preference is, and let's get on with the video. Investing in Ripple, how to buy Ripple stocks and XRP tokens. Now, the only reason I decided to put this into the video is because I've had a lot of people tell me, where do I buy crypto or VeChain or XRP when I live in New York? Or where do I buy this if I live here? And should I buy it? Is it safe? And is my money going to go down? And I want to quickly summarize that in maybe a minute or so for the people that don't understand. 1. Just type into Google, buy crypto New York or whatever place you live at, and most likely just use one of the first exchanges. Maybe if you've never heard of the name before and it's not a really common one, just type into Google to see if it's safe. Just type in the name / and then a scam behind it or review or something like that, and you will definitely find it. If there's not a ton of reviews on it, don't use it because, well, there might be some sketch going on because most of the big crypto exchanges, they got a ton of reviews and you can easily use them. Second of all, which is again in the same corridor, is what to do if the exchange you use doesn't have that crypto. I would recommend just buy some Bitcoin because 99 out of 100 exchanges will have that, and then transfer that Bitcoin over to a different exchange and then change it into a new coin that you would like. It's very simple to do, and I think anybody can do it. Third, is your money safe? Well, it depends on where you store your money. I personally recommend to buy yourself a hardware wallet. A link is in the description below. It's what I personally use. The reason is I don't like to keep my money on exchanges because I've had some exchanges quit out on me before. They just left the building, shut down the website. These were some more shadier exchanges, but it can happen to the best of them. And I don't really want to lose my money if that happens or having to wait a year for my money. So I want to have full control, so I buy a hardware wallet. A link is in the description below if you want to buy one from Ledger, which is the personal one that I use. I really recommend it. Otherwise, if you want to go for a free one, go for Exodus, download the software, put it on your computer, use that. Or if you don't want to go for all of that, go for blockchain.com, which is a web one I can recommend. And I guess that's my top 3. Use Ledger if you want to be really, really safe for hardware. Where if you don't want to spend any money and you still have a computer which you can put it on, go for Exodus. And if you don't even want to have software, you just want to have it online, go for blockchain.com, I believe it is now. It used to be blockchain.info. Having said that, my last thing should be then, I guess, is your money safe when price falls or things like that? I think some people still might not understand. No. All right. You can lose 100% of your money in a day. There's nothing really keeping it from not happening. And never invest more than you are able to lose. It's bottom line for a lot of people, but still, some people don't understand the concept of never invest more than you are able to lose. Otherwise, you might end up in some very big freaking tears. It's not like you can't end up in tears if you just invest $1, but if you invest more than you're able to lose, I think those cries will be even a little bit heavier. So yeah. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying these daily crypto videos, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe. Now, okay, once we said that, I guess one thing I could add is, can you buy into Ripple the company? Yes, but no. Yes, in the sense of there are loopholes as to which you can buy into Ripple. And that would mean you would not be able to buy it directly because it's not openly traded. But there are some opportunities here and there where these bigger investment firms, which have invested, sell a part of that, which is a possibility for you. If you don't know about it, though, I don't know if it's the recommended strategy for you if you've never heard of it before, because it's a little bit of a difficult path to follow, possibly. A little bit more of a sketchier one, in my opinion. But that's also for people who are concerned about Ripple. They have not done an IPO yet, so you can't really buy it in that way. But in the end, yeah, I think that's all straightened up. Now let's move into some news of today and some crazy stuff. First of all, XRP Nurse asked on Twitter, is it too late for the VeChain train? Asking for an XRP friend. And it's really something I've been discussing in my previous video as well. When is it too late to buy a crypto? Can you buy a crypto that's going up? And should you ever have 100% into one crypto? The answers to all those questions are really simple. You should not ever have 100% into one crypto. It is not always a bad choice. It's actually a 50-50 of a good choice to buy when a coin is going up. And the first one, I don't even know what it is. It's never really too late. Maybe that's what my point was. So basically, to put it into perspective, V10 right now has been going up for a little while. And you would say you're going to bet against it because, well, you can see from the chart here, it's going really, really crazy. So you want to bet that it's going down right now, right? Because, I mean, the move can't be sustained forever. It kind of feels like that, and I get it. Let's put it, 90 days. Let's do 90 days. You can see here, the move has been crazy. It won't last forever, so you're going to bet against it now. Pro is, well, you can make a lot more money that way. Con is you're betting against the market, which is a really dangerous game to play because timing the top is really freaking difficult. Then the relating part of asking for an XRP friend, most likely referring to a person who has, for example, 100% into one coin. I wouldn't recommend because you got to diversify for if, all the coins except yours go up, you don't cry. Next is a little bit of a different type of thing I've been talking about. It's about these how would you call them? Not necessarily riddles, but more conspiracy types of articles or tweets or accounts or posts. Val Jester Locke says, ask yourself, does these times add up? XRP in Trump's hand takes off before his second term. Time enough to see recovery. XRP symbol is 10, is X is October. September, sacrifice month, history repeats, kill off the economy, old work, stock market collapse, my opinion. With a couple of articles attached, which are again of The Economist from the One World Currency, and this picture about deep state that we've seen quite a ton of times before, talking about BRICS and all of that type of stuff. And it's just really interesting to me how we are still talking about this. It's been months since I first saw this post pop up. And we're still talking about it, still thinking about the connections and all of it. And also, to a certain degree, it kind of adds up. And I can understand why people are talking about this all the time, because it's a bigger belief that you would like. The reason I would say is, if this scenario were to be true, it would make us so much money that it's really nice to believe that there's a possibility for it. Second of all is, it's a little bit of anti-government, not necessarily, it's more so, uniting world government type of theory, where everything's going to be united, everything's going to be just one world thing, which is really kind of a utopian type of scenario, right? If you only have one currency in the world, that could do a lot of good, if you think about it. It could really do a lot of good because, well, it would take away a lot of the struggles. However, with just one entity comes a lot of manipulation and really a lot more extra problems. In the end, it might not only be a positive thing, but it's an interesting thing to talk about and think about. However, there's just one part, all right? That's just one part because, well, you can already see here Tony Valentino has said a lot of things. Let's check it out. Mr. Tony Valentino, and this comes from XRP The World. China is going to lead the world away from the US dollar system, but is just all show, all on the same team. China, Korea, Japan signed a deal to use a Chinese gold-backed crypto, move it on the XP ledger, and IMF blessings. And then a couple of tweets from Tony Valentino to, I guess, get some contrast going, but also see a little bit of this. Makes sense. Now, why Trump and his deep state buddies are going after China with the tariffs and trade wars and trying to cause problems in Hong Kong with the protesters. China is going to lead the world away from the US dollar system, but is just a show, all on the same team. We, the people, are being sold a story that we must believe so we can give reasons to why change occurs. But those paying attention already know the US dollar system is dead and needed changing, plus we needed to move away from the dollar for true democratic globalization. We are watching what is happening with the US Fed and the repo rates. They are printing hundreds of billions of dollars, well actually trillions, and they're trying to apply bandage to a broken down wall, keeping the system alive a little bit longer. Massive panic behind the scenes, banks will fail if no change. And to that last part, I can kind of relate to that opinion. The reason I think banks might fail a little bit more is not necessarily because of the big QE, the big monetary policy. It's more so about the negative interest rates. And it's something that Trump has agreed with as well, and some other big economists have talked about, is that Europe here, they've had negative interest rates for a little while, but they were always searching for yield in America. But if the yield over there is negative as well, then the banking system kind of collapses because, well, you're really not getting yield anymore anywhere. So why would you want to have money in there, right? If you really can't make a profit on it that safely. Yeah, and that went on for a little while, those talks. I've talked about it for a little while on the channel as well. And I can kind of understand why you would expect the system, the banking system, to fall. And I can kind of support that idea. This project will expand to BRICS nations and the Chinese-backed AIIB Development Bank within months. And then there's a tweet attached which says, China, Korea, and Japan signed a deal to use a Chinese-backed crypto in trade. China is days/weeks away from unveiling their gold-backed crypto. They will move these assets on the XRP ledger. The IMF and World Bank gave their blessings. I'm wondering how he knows, but all right. And moving forward, we'll let you all know more as soon as I get more information on this, but right now this is confirmed great news for XRP. Yeah, that is interesting to say the least, right? That is very interesting to say the least. And I really don't know what to respond or what to say on this. Main reason is it's a good idea, it's a good initiative to talk about this type of stuff, but it's really difficult to legitimize anything. By the way, not a US or English native speaker, so if I'm saying anything wrong, please stand with me here because I'm trying my best. It's kind of hard to legitimize, if that's even a word, all this type of stuff because, well, how can we confirm any of this is true? How can we confirm that about the China doing all this with Japan and Korea under one pact and they're all being friends, all being on the same team, trying to get rid of the dollar? How do we really know that they also expect this system to fall? You know, the US. How do we know there's some massive panic going on behind the scenes? How do we know this has not all been part of the plan for a longer while anyway, so there's no panic at all? You know, how do we know? How do we know? It's to me, it's still foreign. I don't understand how you could understand what they are thinking or where you're getting the ideas from. Is it from insiders or what? I mean, expectations or you know, like things related to that, expectations or just predictions, I can understand. But are these facts? If they are, let me know in the comment section. But for right now, I'm just looking at it with great eyes, you know, with my eyes wide open. But I don't know if anything's confirmed and if I should be putting time in it or not, because, well, maybe I'm just wasting it all. And then last but not least, an interesting tweet. When you went all in on XRP and decided not to diversify your portfolio with VET, that's what you kind of feel like. And again, just my point here is diversify your money. This is not financial advice, but from me as a person to you as a person, make sure you get yourself at least 4 crypto, even if you just invest 5% in some other coins from your main one. Just do it to make sure you always have a great feeling when some coins go up. It's really just the best way of doing it, 99 out of 100 times, so I really, really recommend it. But right, for all of you that are too cocky to change your mind, you do you. I've given my advice. And that was it for my video of today. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care and have a very, very nice day.